the gym and in the car. With our advice, you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. We talk about our sexy dates. We host events and we go to clubs. But most of all, we're still in love. It's getting hard for this to rhyme just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time. It's bed hopping time!
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name's Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. Now, normally we waffle on about something that we're promoting or we talk about what we've been up to, but there ain't none of that shit today. We are going straight in with an interview. Mrs. H, who have we got with us today?
Well, I'm actually really excited to introduce this guest today. So this gentleman is a veteran of our Bed Hoppers events. I think it's fair to say he would probably describe himself as new, but that is simply not true. He is known to many, loved by many, and he's yet to meet some more new people, I think. Welcome to the show, Gav.
Good evening to both of you.
Well, there we go. Already, good evening. They don't know what time it is. They could be listening in the morning, Gav.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Error.
I spoilt it.
You're going to have to do good morning, good afternoon and good night now, just to round it up. Thanks for joining us today, mate. It's a pleasure to chat to you. Firstly, I want to ask, how would you describe yourself to our gentle listeners?
A cheeky, shy gentleman. That's the best description for me.
Just a cheeky, shy gentleman.
Yeah.
So a man of many words today. This is going to be a very quick interview. Thank you very much for joining us.
You'll get your chance to waffle after all, dear. Don't worry.
I always get my chance to waffle. So in terms of describing yourself and those three words, what do you look like?
6 foot, brown hair, blue eyes, gentleman in his late 40s. And specky like both of you.
There we go. Optically
Hey.
challenged.
Specs are great.
Yes.
They frame a face. It's all good.
They sure do like a beard. Beard frames a face, I think.
I don't have a beard.
No, I know. That's why your face isn't all that framed, you see. Doesn't need it. It's beautiful. I love it.
Wow, okay.
There we go. So
Got that one.
what I want to know, Gav, is how did you get started in this mad lifestyle?
Probably going back, I won't go too far back, university days, a little bit of picture sharing sites, a little bit of naughty newbie nudes, and starting meeting a few people from picture sharing. And I did meet a couple. Looking back, they probably started me in what we class as swinger socials, going to a pub, chatting, seeing if we actually do click, and ended up going back to the house on a couple of visits later. And then sort of fast forward, a Twitter account, started sort of admin some of the spicy people to follow. And 2 of your good friends were my follows, along with a couple of others. And I suddenly decided I need to actually start my own separate Twitter account for these people. I did see Secret Vixen publicising one of your events. And I just went, okay, ethical non-monogamy. I can work with that. Some of my meets in the past haven't really sort of been the right vibe, worrying about people that are cheating, etc. And I bought one of your tickets, and it all started from there.
So you're a single gent in the lifestyle, right?
Yes.
So what's your dynamic? What are you looking for when you go to a social or you go online on Swing Hub or whatever? What's in your sights?
Started off as straight gentlemen, single ladies, couples who are happy to invite a guest within their dynamic. And up until recently, that's how I was. And that's starting to creep in bi curious as well. So
Okay.
couples where the gentleman's bi, and
The bi exploration is a relatively new thing then for you.
it is very much so. Very much. Can't see myself doing one-to-one meets.
Okay. How did that come about in your head then? Was it just an opportunity that happened? You thought, like that, I'll try a bit more of that? Or was it something that you'd always fancied giving a go?
I've always been very relaxed around guys when play within clubs, etc., and happy for close confines, all of those bits and pieces. It probably very early on, actually, my first play within a club which sadly wasn't Penthouse. Penthouse was my second. And I was playing and I just thoughts entered into my head. Wonder what it'd be like to, how could I put it, suck on that cock that's almost in my face. Wonder what it'd be like, what it'd be taste like, feel like. What it'd be like to kiss the gentleman in front of me, and held back and gone, hold on, we haven't had this discussion prior. No, this is not the place for having those kind of thoughts. And it sort of progressed. Wasn't until probably beginning of this year that I was at a club with a single lady, class her as a wing lady, just opened myself up to play. And it was at a bi event on a Monday afternoon. And I had my first experience, very, very, very minor experience. And I've just...
One assumes you're not talking about their age, though, right?
No. Oh, no, nothing like that.
A very small experience, perhaps?
I was play as a threesome with the lady. And it was right at the end of the play, I thought, hold on, I'm a bi event. The guy in front of me is single. He's bi. You absolute numpty. I went to default, focused on the lady in front of me, and the two of us just teamed up on her. And I did meet him later on in the club and had a conversation with him, and he introduced me to Glory Hole there. I completely messed it up, but that
How
was
can
my
you
first...
mess up a Glory
I
Hole?
need to know what happened now. You've
Maybe
teased a
you
story.
literally messed it
Well,
up.
it was the first time going to Glory Hole, and I got it round the wrong way.
I think other people have done that.
Yeah.
So,
We know someone who's
hang on.
done that.
So you got it the wrong way. What would be the wrong way round at a bi event? Is there such a thing?
No, the Glory Hole was the wrong
You
way
went
round.
the wrong way round. The other side.
In what actually happens at each of the two sides.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I went the wrong side.
I went the wrong...
You went the wrong way.
In my head, I was the wrong side.
Okay, but presumably you had an encounter nonetheless.
I did. It felt good in my hand.
Okay.
And it was a good encounter that led me to want to continue in exploring.
Okay. And so now, is that something that you actively look for, or is it more along the lines, if it pops up, it pops up?
If it pops.
Yeah, brilliant analogy. If it pops up, to be honest, in conversations, pre-play, or at bi events. Yeah.
I'm curious,
as
though.
things pop up.
as they literally pop up. So I'm curious. You went to a bi event. Did you go with the thought that you might play in mind, or was it just so happened that that the event was a bi event and you were just there?
It was intentional to be taken along to a bi event.
Okay.
By the single lady, who I have a couple membership with, a particular club, and basically just go with the flow. I trust her.
Yeah.
She's a unicorn mistress. So we just went along, and one of the people on the door of the club, he could see I was nervous, had a chat with him, and he basically said, okay, what are you nervous about? I went, a guy inappropriately touching me, acting like your standard inappropriate gentleman. Well, gentleman's probably the wrong word. Guy.
Yeah.
Who's the wanking dead, etc. And he just went, if that happens, come and find me. I'll grab the guy by the balls and I would drag him out of the club. We do not accept that.
It's such an interesting thought, that, because I guess this is how women feel going to the club all the time.
Yes.
And
it's completely reversed.
Yeah, and it's reversed. And it is funny that there's also, I guess, the odd assumption of someone is going to do that, and your mind automatically goes to that point, rather than assuming that everyone is going to abide by the rules of consent, which, you've been around a bit now. You can no longer describe yourself as new. We have an ongoing joke, I should say, that Gav often refers, or has for a long time referred to himself as a newbie.
Shy newbie.
A shy newbie. And
Like,
it has
Gav,
been
you're not a newbie.
sufficient amount of
Can't
time.
keep saying that.
Yeah.
I'm biting my lip, very carefully not saying that particular word.
But you could say,
protecting myself from any future fines when I see said people within our group chat,
Well,
of which one of them will be at your social.
oh, okay. So I think you can legitimately say that you're new to being bi. So that you can start the countdown, turn the egg timer over again.
Yeah, you can have
And
that one.
you can have that one. You
Yes.
can get away with that for a while. But
Yeah.
it is so fascinating that that's where your mind goes to. Because I guess that is how many women feel about going to clubs in general.
Yeah.
And it's
you're
the
right.
guys, it's the guys that I'm protecting the single ladies from policing
Yeah.
when they approach her, and in the middle of play.
Yeah. But who watches the watchman, Gav, eh? That's the question, right?
That's very true.
It's the
That's
guy on the
very
club
true.
door. We found out. We got the answer from you.
Oh, okay.
We got that one. So what I'd like to know, so you've been in this lifestyle for a while. You've been exploring as a single guy. You've been going to various events and become, moving from newbie to more experienced. What have you learned about yourself? Because obviously you've opened up some doors there. You've discovered that you've got some bi curiosity. What else have you learned?
I'm an idiot that overthinks.
You may overthink, but that doesn't make you an idiot.
Yeah. Overthinking can fuel my mental health situation and state.
Okay.
One of the biggest things I learnt was at Red Hot Party was Dutch courage. And if I'm nervous, not drinking gin. And you both know that I was a little bit of a train wreck after the event. And I have Mrs. H to thank for turning that around with some wise words.
I do recall a very long conversation with you, yes.
Yes.
But I'm happy to help. And,
Yeah.
you don't have to berate yourself for having a wobble now and then.
And the rest of the community, I've learnt exceedingly supportive.
Oh, absolutely.
I may
Really
not
well.
be their dynamic, predominantly couples, and they have treated me exceedingly well, very friendly, supportive and welcoming. That's one thing I've learned within the lifestyle. You don't have to be the same dynamic, but you're still treating each other with respect. And chatting is chatting. Pants on friends, pants off friends.
I think what's been really nice to see within the community is certainly since you've joined that bed hop community in particular, is that people have been sort of rooting for you and championing your every success. And I love that about the community, as people sort of talk about their steps forwards, their successes, their, the little things that we should all celebrate and help each other out with. It's been really apparent that people have been really, really happy for you.
Soon learn, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try and be somebody else.
Yep.
Especially in clubs, just be yourself, stand out that way, chat to people. That was one of my biggest hurdles. It still is, actually, going up to couples and chatting.
Hey,
I
you and me
try
both,
and-
mate.
Yeah, I try and be organic with the chats and not just approach and be an idiot in some respect. No, just, that's the hardest. I suppose best place for me, meeting people, is jacuzzis.
Or wearing a mankini to an event, maybe, Gav.
Oh, shut up.
Did you honestly
I've
think
wa-
I wouldn't bring that up?
I can still remember the look on your face, along with Kate sat at the bar,
That's right.
it's VA,
Yeah.
and there was just that face of, oh my goodness. He actually pulled it off. He did it.
Did I though? And maybe I was thinking, oh my Christ, he actually wore it.
Column A, column B, but it's, I think these little things are talking points, aren't they? They get people talking and they give people a reason to
It
talk
was
to
definitely
you.
a talking point.
But it's true. And I think
I applaud the confidence. I absolutely do. And I'm gently jesting with you, Gav. You know that.
That was at the point where I was comfortable with events
I know.
and couldn't give a damn, kicked in, and I didn't care. And also, there was a certain member of the community that wasn't present, and I had to sort of slightly fill his shoes
His mankini.
with
I see.
with mankinis.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have it was a Rudolph, wasn't it? He had in front
Something like
for the
that.
Christmas event.
Yeah.
I think there's certainly something about that having a fun thing and a talking point, because like you say, when you go to events, sometimes it can be nervous breaking into talking to groups, to couples, to other people. And I think just having that, even as a story that you can tell to other people, it just gives you another in and another thing that you can join a crowd with. And if people go, I remember you wore that thing. What was that all about? And you can tell that's a really simple way of engaging with other people and building those connections. It probably made a great picture somewhere as well.
I did have a few newer members of the community come up to me at VA and go, "Yo, Gav, you were going to wear the mankini. Fair play to you for those photos."
There we go. It makes a real difference, I think. So what I'd like to know, we've explored a bit about your journey and sort of how you describe yourself and your dynamic. What have you learned about other people along the way?
Most people are open, honest. And to be honest, at clubs, no subject is really off limits at a club. People will have so vast conversations in a jacuzzi, but you've also got the ones that shouldn't be in a club that soon get asked to leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a vast variety of dynamics that I'm still trying to figure out with people.
I think until you ask people and you have that conversation, labels are very useful for giving you the broad, it's this ballpark. But when you actually get down to the nuts and bolts, you kind of start figuring out that everyone has their own different take, their own different meanings and their own different approaches. And it's really useful to kind of have that often in a jacuzzi to kind of go through that. What does this mean to them and what is their approach and how do they do it? And until you sit down and actually have that conversation, I mean, sitting isn't necessarily required, but you know what I mean? Until you have that chat with them, then you just don't have you can guess, but you probably have no clue as to what their dynamic is.
No. Half the time I haven't got a clue. And you're right. It's easier just to ask. And I'm starting to be, I wouldn't say more blunt, but more probing with questions, but carefully asking the questions. But it's amazing how a nice conversation with a couple can later on result in invitation to play.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a play-centered conversation you have with them, but they notice that I'm actually a respectful person. I'm not an idiot. Spend some time in the jacuzzi, go off, get myself a drink, and then start wandering around. And one occasion, I walked past the playroom. They were playing with another gentleman. I walked into the playroom, sat down on the bench opposite, but I asked, "Do you mind if I sit down here and watch?" What's the first thing the husband did? "No, come and join in." So it's starting to build up those impressions you're making on people.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've asked consent, it opens doors rather than just sit down and just be the stigma that I fought right at the beginning, which that of a wanking dead, that of the guys within the lifestyle. I fought hard to sort of put that to one side and just be myself.
I think it's as long as you're a good human being and you show interest and you're polite and respectful, I think, like you say, it can open so many doors for you down the line. And, it doesn't always guarantee that you're going to get that play interaction, but that sort of level of decent behaviour spreads like wildfire. Not only are you setting examples to other people, but people will talk. They'll be like, "Oh, you've spoken to that person. Oh, really nice. Like them." And that in itself is worth its weight in gold, I think.
Manners maketh man.
There we go.
That is a very good one. That's a very good one. And also, it's how I've sort of met and have a couple of wing ladies along the way, that ladies that are happy to go to club with me. And yeah, that's another one where I still need to work on the dynamics of couple when you're not actually a couple with a club. I'm still working that one out.
Well, here's my next question, and it leads nicely into, what do you think have been the main challenges for you?
Early on was how I'm perceived within the lifestyle.
I'm a guy, I think, for a single guy.
I'm a guy. I'm a single guy, and I will say single gentleman. How I behave is gentlemanly, not the chivalrous side. That was my biggest one, attending a club for its first time. That was a big hurdle. Being packed in with so many couples and people as just this one unit. I still remember I came on the second bus to Penthouse, and there was a good number within that bar area. I walked in and I just went, this is too much for me. How the hell do I actually talk to all of these people around? So I've just learned to take a deep breath, walk in, find the bar, have a wander around, know the club. So I started going to clubs during the day where it's less people there, get to know the club.
Yep.
So Penthouse, I know I can go outside into the smoking area. If I need to chill out, same with Cams, I can go down into the bar area or out onto what they class as the sun lounge deck.
Yeah.
Find some chill out places. That's one of the challenges. Also, going up to people is a challenge. Having the guts.
We've been talking about this a lot lately, and we've asked ourselves the question, are we shit swingers? Because I think when you go to an event, it's really hard. Or certainly if introversion is any part of your thing, or sort of joining people in groups is a challenge, it is very, very difficult to kind of go up, introduce yourselves, and just start a conversation. I know we struggle with it.
I think it's hard to break into what you perceive to be an established circle already, even though actually they may not be an established little clique, but because your perception is, all those people clearly know each other, they're all in a little circle, I can't possibly penetrate that. But actually they could all be meeting for the first time anyway.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's hard sometimes to just break into a social interaction that's already going on. But sometimes it's the only way you'll actually get to talk to people, because it's rare to find just people stood on their own doing nothing. Everyone's pretty much talking to someone at some point.
I have found there's benefits to having a second person with you. For me, it's more confidence.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I am more confident when I've got a wing lady next to me. All of my worries just go out the window. In some sense, I think I'm seen differently. I have a lady next to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not seen as a single guy. I'm more approachable. But in my head, I find it easier to go up to people and chat, because I know I've got a lady with me. So the other couples are seeing I'm there as a couple.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest things I learned, actually. Get to know people, go to an event with other people. I've been lucky to attend a club night where there's been 7 of us present.
Yeah.
3 of the couples are actually members of your community. So, yeah, that was a point where I'm going, how the heck did I get this far to actually have a group of 7 of us attending a club?
It's not a bad bit of progress. Although every time you say the word wing lady, in my head, all I can think of is a delightful lady following me around and giving me chicken wings, like delicious wings like they give out.
Okay, all right,
amazing.
okay. No,
You want a woman to follow you around and give you chicken
Yeah,
wings?
I'd be down with that. That would be great. Like,
okay.
maybe we should
Some
bring these to events. Wing ladies.
some are
the wing lady?
straight,
Yeah.
some are straight, and some of them are unicorns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've managed to find myself a couple of unicorns. I've done well there.
Yeah. You've done
They are hard to find.
and that the truth, mate.
Yeah, I was done with a few in events.
So what I'd like to know is, what advice would you give to newbies? What would be your biggest bit of advice? Now, normally at this point, I'd say communication. Don't say communication, because everyone says communication.
Yeah, default, not allowed.
So I do have to, I'm contractually obliged to say that at this point.
Okay. Without sucking up to yourselves, I would say listen to a podcast similar to yours or your actual podcast.
Good, thank you.
I might listen to it one day, Gav, but, miracles might happen.
Go to socials.
Yeah.
Go to organised socials where you will actually meet people, chat to them, find out about the lifestyle, get tips from people who are used to going to clubs. Actually read up on the lifestyle itself, explore what clubs are around you, see what events are on. Some do host socials.
Yep.
Or icebreaker nights. Go along to that, get to know some of the regulars. So one particular club, the members get a free ticket for icebreaker night to encourage them to come along to mix with those who are newer to clubs.
Yeah.
Single guys, don't be idiots, basically. Just leave things at the door and just attend. Communication, yes, okay, with the couples, communication, but also learn communication skills, join Discord chats, join any various chats. So a couple of podcasts that I listen to on their Discord chats and get to know folks, learn from them, be open and honest. I've learned from your Discord and some others, bits of information. Ask people about clubs. Actually send an email to a club and explain, I've never been before. Any advice? What night would you suggest for me to come to that's quieter and is more geared towards newbies? Last, I've said the word.
Well, I think you're allowed to say it as long as it's
not a reference to myself.
to yourself being a
You're allowed to
newbie.
say it.
And though you are okay to say that you're a newbie, bisexual, curious or bi-curious male. So I think
We'll allow it.
We'll allow that. I think that's really good advice. I particularly. I think this is the research bit for me that really rings true. And we get a lot of emails, actually, a lot of messages with people asking how to start, how to get involved. And I just go out there, talk to people, like read, research. And more than anything, I think it's about hearing about or seeing situations that you're going to be in so that you can go, oh, how would I navigate that? How do I deal with that? So that when you turn up and it happens, it doesn't completely knock you off your feet and hit you sideways. And I think that's such an important piece of advice to me. I appreciate it. I like it. Miss Sage, you have a question. It's your favourite question of all.
My favourite question, Gav. You're so lucky I'm asking you this.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'll tell you for why. Well, we devoted a whole episode once to my most favourite subject of Room 101. I love chucking something in Room 101. I love
Or the
it.
bin. Whichever.
Or the bin, but Room 101 is particularly mystical, has mystical qualities for me. So if you could take one thing out or change one thing that you find to be, a really unpalatable part of the ethically non-monogamous lifestyle, what would it be?
All of the idiot guys.
They're not all going to fit in Room 101.
Hang on,
Fab.
you're just removing the competition, mate. That's fucking clever.
No. All of the idiot guys harassing, pissing off couples and single ladies by sending stupid messages. Remove those.
All right. You are indeed.
Yes, they are
removing the
competition.
Yes.
They are competition, but also it makes etc. actual lifestyle applications.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think it would take a lot of stigma out of the lifestyle itself. I think the barrier to entry would be a lot lower and people would probably feel a lot more comfortable.
But fortunately, we know there are some really nice ones out there, And
I try.
Exactly. You're one of the good eggs. But but there are some out there, fortunately, and we've had the fortune to meet quite a few, and some single guys do attend our events regularly because they're trusted and they do behave well, like you say.
You turn up. Some don't bother.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, Red Hot Party, there was 15 single guys you sold tickets to.
Yeah.
4 of them turned up. Yeah. One of which was really good to me that night and took me under his wing and made sure I wandered Penthouse instead of just staying in the bar and hiding.
I do recall this, yes. Absolutely. And so there are some good ones out there.
I think one of the things that irritates me is the pricing for single guys as well. And it's interesting because we went to Cap Dag quite recently, and we went to the moose party or the foam party, if you want to call it that. And so it was something like, and don't quote me on this, it was like €10 for a single lady, 25 euros for a couple, and 500 for a single guy.
I know, I didn't believe it.
500.
500, yes.
I was like, what?
So
yeah,
pricing structure needs sorting.
It does, and I think if you don't want if it's about the volume of single guys, then just monitor it. Just have a number outside of how many single guy spaces there are. If you're going to do it that way, or, have a look at the way that you price it in general, because I think it should be priced fairly. I think that I appreciate that there is a business to be run, and that actually if 95% of your audience is couples, and you're trying to appease the couples with a view that most of them just want other couples, then just run it accordingly. But I do think there is something quite wrong with charging the guys out of the market, but also for those that can afford to get in, and we did see a couple of single guys in there, clearly more money than sense, I suspect. But what I would say is that it creates the wrong impression from those single guys, because if you're paying €500 to get into an event, you're going to have some expectations, right? Like, I'm not saying that you're going to expect everyone to drop to the knees and start sucking your cock, but
yeah, and for me as well, I'll add into that, just because you can afford the €500 entrance, it doesn't mean you're a good, well-behaved single guy. It just means you've got a lot of cash. Or
it does.
It doesn't mean you've kind of skipped the queue of dickheads out there.
This is the second item that I would put in room 101.
Oh, you're having two, are you? Go on then. What's the second one?
room 101.
This is the second one. It's the pricing structure.
And I think there
are some clubs very good on their booking system, in the sense of they will release a certain number of single gentleman member tickets or non-member tickets. They encourage people to use the booking system.
Yep.
So they can manage the numbers. There's some places that do not do that, especially some for daytime events. They just have a small number of single guy tickets, and the members can just turn up, couples, etc., just on the door and pay.
Yeah.
So I've ended up being blocked from being able to attend, even though I booked 2.5 months in advance, and I'm still on the waiting list on that day.
That's so frustrating. And I think the way it's handled, to be fair, I think the way a lot of clubs handle stuff, it isn't like you're going to a professionally run business in the sense that you're going to like a store in town. It is very ad hoc, and there's rules and regulations put in place. Some of them have been there since the dawn of time, and those rules stand, and some of them are developed because the owners have a certain opinion of certain things. And I kind of understand that, because it's your club. You kind of want to run it how you like. But at the same point, I think there should be a level of fairness and a level of professionalism that ensures that some of this stuff doesn't happen. Like, the last thing you want to do is fucking travel for hours, turn up to a club to find that you can't go along.
Great.
If you've booked, I mean, it's just not good business sense, and your impression of that club is never going to be recovered, no matter how amazing it might well be on the inside. If the way they treat people is so vastly different, then it's just shitty, isn't it? So,
and you've also got the mentality of, I've paid these bucks, I'm going to get my money's worth.
Yeah.
So some clubs will allow single ladies in free of charge and couples in free of charge.
Yeah.
And then the guys just pay.
And I think the trouble is that in all of these situations, like, any one of those groups has the ability to be problematic and troublesome.
Yes.
Like, it's not to say that troubles are just limited to single guys.
No.
Like, anyone can turn up drunk, anyone can turn up whatever. And we've seen problems from couples, from single ladies, from single guys. Like, if you get enough people together, someone is going to be a dick, right? So,
yes.
You should probably address the behavior on the night and sort of set out the scene for what will happen if people do misbehave, and attempt to mitigate it in advance. But I appreciate that, there's only so much you can do in some of these situations. But I do think there is something around the fairness of the charging and the tickets and the way that these things are handled, which will probably go a long way to sorting out some of the issues with single guys in general. And I said, the wanking dead by that. I mean, so what I'd like to ask you now, mate, is, so we've talked about your history and where you come from and sort of some of the stuff you've been exploring. What would be your ideal date? So you get you get a single lady or a couple or a bi-friendly couple or whatever. What is it? What is it you're going to look for? What's going to happen? Are you going to go out? You're going to go for a bite to eat? You're going to go to a club? Tell us. Come on, lay it down.
If you say bowling, he's going to end the interview immediately.
No, it's all right. I hate bowling, but other people can like it.
Something where you're not caged in the sense of you're sat down, you're at a table,
right.
you're trapped. Something a little bit more free, so some form of activity. Maybe just going for a walk.
Okay.
Where you're able to chat, walking in the park or something like that.
And who are you walking with? Is it a couple? Is it a single lady? Is it a
single lady?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple.
Okay.
Sit down, chat, get to know them. But I do find you go to a pub that's fairly busy, I'm not relaxed.
Like to be on your feet when you talk.
Yeah. Also just something, it's a vanilla setting that you're worried about being overheard, conversation, or what you actually might end up doing. People clocking the fact that, okay, that's the partner of that person. That partner's just walked off. What's he doing?
Okay.
I've had that worry before with a meet, and it didn't really go well.
Okay.
Let's just say, because I felt myself on edge. But yeah, fun activities.
So
nice.
if you're going for a nice walk, are you going along a nice beach, or are you going to some woods, or are you going to some fields?
That's a bit naughty, going for the woods.
Well, a nice woodland stroll.
Nice park.
Oh, not a park. Okay, cool.
Nice park. Go for a walk in the park. Nice.
Is it a play date at the end of it, or is it just a social date? What's the ideal for you?
Could keep it social, but it could get a little bit spicy.
Cool. But
no sort of set in stone, this is what's going to happen, we've got a hotel booked, etc. Yeah. I prefer that if the three of us or the two of us click, that happen on the second time of meeting, possibly.
Okay.
Or the opportunity of it.
So no park benches for some frisky fun then, in your lovely park.
Maybe. Like a little bit of kissing, etc. But if it's a couple, I need to actually feel as if I have the trust of the partner.
Yeah.
As well as the lady's trust.
That's fair.
And to gauge in that level of trust with the male partner, really, sort of have, I wouldn't say green light, but in the sense of you've respected me, I'm respecting you, I'm happy with you, with my partner.
I think that's very fair.
I worry about that a little bit. And maybe I ask too much consent in clubs, maybe not. I need to find that. And also reading situations. I
think it's this whole lifestyle is very difficult to get the balance right, because everyone is different, right? And I think, the consent thing, I don't think you can ask too much. I guess, like, if you go into the extreme of it, you can do, but for the most part, asking is sexy, I think. And
yes,
and kind of going down that road, I think just being...
I've had a very surprising moment, one of the takeovers. I was actually from a newbie couple. They approached me, asked me if I was interested in playing. I completely went, wow, yes, I am interested.
Yeah.
In the playroom, I kept it to the point where the two of them were in control, and she asked permission to touch me.
Okay, well, that's good.
First time I've ever had that from a lady.
Okay.
It's normally the guys that are expected to be asking consent, and the lady just touches. Yep. Once you're in a play situation. And I made sure I said to her afterwards, never stop doing that. That actually was brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm so used to people just touching. The ladies have implied consent already for touching the guy and stroking the guy, etc. But she asked permission. And that was sexy.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a lot to ask. It can just be a, may I? Is it okay if I?
Yes.
And that in itself it's a turn on, because someone's asking for your permission and they want to do it. It's a definitive proof that they want to go ahead and do that, which is also pretty sexy, right?
I've been, cinema situation. There's play happening on the bed in front of me. I'm sat there watching. And recently I just piped up and cheeky question, room for a third one? Just basically asking them, because it's open play.
Yeah.
It's open play, but I'm not just going to be the idiot guy that walks up and goes, yeah, I'm naked, I'm going to come and join in. Ask permission.
This was a cinema in a sex club, I just want to point out,
Yes,
right?
it was. Yes,
You weren't
yes,
watching
yes,
Jurassic
yes.
Park or anything.
Yeah.
No. This was cinema opening hours for a club.
So I've got a couple final questions for you. One is, what is your favourite club to go to, and why would you recommend it?
Oh, I have 2 clubs.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to say 2?
Of course you can.
Okay, Penthouse is one.
Yep.
It's variety. Staff are amazing there.
Agreed.
I am treated exceedingly well as a single guy. The vibe there is perfect. And the newbies nights is brilliant. The variety of playrooms, brilliant. And if you're a newbie, you can stick to the bar area and just have it as a normal club night. Or if you get nosy and brave, you can go for Wander.
Yeah.
Don't have to. Second club, Millions.
Cool.
Super, super chilled. Any night you go there or any day, afternoon you go there, it's super chilled. I've never had a problem there. I've never encountered a problem there. The staff are hot on any misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Misdemeanors. Okay, it's quite hard for a single guy to get a membership in some ways, but that's a good thing, really. You're taking on the merit of your performance and you are watched. Staff are keeping an eye on you, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I've seen people escorted out of there before for breaking the rules, but you haven't noticed what rules they've broken. It's been discreetly dealt with.
Yeah. That's
The guy's been escorted out or the couple's been escorted out. Yeah, Chameleons is, that's a special club, I think.
We've not been for...
Is this the one where there's 2? One in
It's Birmingham way, right?
Birmingham,
Yes.
Yeah,
Dunstan?
Near Warsaw.
Yeah.
But isn't there one in Wales as well?
Yes, Newport,
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're in
the Birmingham one.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've not been to the Newport one, but we haven't been to that one for
Quite a
about
few years.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
would
been
agree.
quite a while since we were there.
In all honesty, the Birmingham one is the better one of the 2.
I can imagine.
I have heard reputation-wise.
Well, the other one's in Newport, so I'm automatically, given the fact
Yeah.
that Mrs. H is from Newport and I've been there, discounting anything from Newport, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, anyone that's from there. Apologies, but, I'm contractually obliged to say it.
Moving on.
So what I'd like to know is, this is a nice, well, maybe an easy one, maybe not. Do you have any question? You get the opportunity to ask us a question. What question would you like to ask us, if you have any?
That's a really hard one for both of you.
And now it's just my shorts, mate.
Has there ever been an episode, podcast,
Yeah,
you've recorded it,
yeah.
and then just basically put it straight in the trash?
About 20 times. Tons. I am...
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes they have ended up as like patron bonuses. We've recorded it. It's not been as good as I'd like. There's been times when we recorded it and we've ended up having not an argument, but it's descended into a you said and I said and you said and I said.
Bit of mudslinging.
Bit of mudslinging. And that's not what we want to do.
It's not constructive.
Generally, we don't tend to argue that way either. But the podcast can be a little bit performative by its nature, so there is a bit of that. What tends to happen is, if we haven't recorded for a little bit longer than normal, we'll do the intro, and it's the intro. The intro is the most important bit to me, and if that doesn't feel right, if I don't get a good vibe about that intro, I'll delete it, and I can go through 20 and it's literally the first 30 seconds. And we'll do so many of them. And then once it's starting, the thing is, right, I want it to start like up here, like with excitement. I'm a great audio reference, Mr. H, but I want it to start like really high, really dynamic. Hey, this is us in the bed hoppers. Yay, everybody, it's coming the fire. Woo, that stuff. And I know that over time it will settle into it and that it will become more talky, more conversational. But if you don't start up there, then you'll start at a much lower level and you drop even further.
Sometimes we're not. We shouldn't have recorded because we just weren't in the right headspace.
Yeah.
And we've done it because we felt obligated to, or because we're running out of time, or because we feel like we've got to do it, even if a subject we're talking about is a bit emotive for us both, and we've done just that and then gone, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have had that conversation, because we just end up, as you say, slinging mud at each other, and that's not what we do.
Then
so
there's
that's when we've binned them.
There's the what I would call the cocky one, where we're like, we are professional podcasters. We know what we're doing. We don't need no stinking notes. We're just going to rock up and talk, and we get there. And well, normally I have a page of notes. Broadly, I have my iPad filled with notes of what I want to talk about and some of the salient points that I want to make. And Mrs. H doesn't have notes generally. Sometimes you do, but most 99% of the time you don't. And if we're both like, life has been lifing and we've not had a chance to record, we're like, okay, we've got to knock it out the park. I mean, lovingly craft one before, and we want to release it to patrons early whenever we can, and we'll just sit down and we'll try and freestyle it. And those are always fucking awful. And those ones often will get 15, 20 minutes in, and I'm like, nope, I don't like this. I don't like this. And you're like, no, it's probably really good. And then I'm like, nope, it's like, we're not recording tonight. We're not doing it. And then I'll listen to it and I'm going, fuck me, that was shit. So
how about the one where you got really, 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 really drunk?
That could have been a number of, there have been ones where we've been, so my birthday one,
yes, that one.
Yeah, but I recorded that. So
wankered.
the difficulty is if we're recording. So we had that idea to record with Penny Lane and Starlord, and ordinarily or particularly him, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, "Oh, hi Starlord, hope you're doing all right, miss you, buddy." That he doesn't like being on the microphone normally. So we went out and we were celebrating my birthday, and we were knocking back drinks like there was no tomorrow. And then somewhere in the midst of all of this, I think it must have been you, wife.
Was me.
You were like, why don't we record a podcast?
Because I wasn't as wankered as you were.
And I was like, yeah, that sounds like the best idea ever. So the setup of it wasn't right, because I'm drunk and I'm pushing buttons and playing with levels and trying to sort out 4 microphones, which is more complicated than just the two of us, and more complicated than a Zoom call, because we're all in the room and the sound picks up other things. So all of this went on, and we just sat down and we were just drunk. And so I don't like doing that. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the one where we did show up on someone else's podcast. Absolutely rat-assed. Now, if you've never heard the story, I'll indulge for just a moment, because
I haven't.
So we turned up on
it was an American podcast, so it was different time zone.
We got invited to an American podcast, and they were like, hey, join us at what we thought was actually going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, okay, it's a Saturday night, we can do that. We've had a couple of drinks, we're fine, we're chatty, it's good. So we're like 1 o'clock in the morning, so we're knocking back drinks. And then we're about to go on the show, and we realised, no, it's not actually 1, it's 2 in the morning. So it's been pushed back like through time zones or whatever. So we're like, what do we do? Oh no, we'll have some more drinks. And we turned up and we were just like fucking chaos goblins. We were
pickled.
Absolutely
so pickled.
rat-assed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our finest. I mean, we got through it, and it was a live show as well, with people could ask questions. Absolutely live. But the worst thing, that's not the worst thing. So the worst thing is, so at the end of the recording, we thought we hung up. So we literally start having sex.
Drunk sex,
as one does. I realise while this starts that the phone is still on, because we're doing it through a phone. We've not done this through. This is because it was just like,
God, it wasn't
much earlier days.
Thing.
So, and I can hear from the thing, like, very quietly, are they having sex? Are they actually doing something? And so I'm trying to grab my phone. So I'm reaching behind me to try and grab my phone. Now, Mrs. H thinks that I'm trying to look at my phone whilst I'm having sex, and keeps batting it out of my hand, because she's like, why are you looking at your fucking phone? And so she keeps like, she's like riding me at this point, and I'm trying to reach behind me to grab the phone to hang up. And they're like, they are definitely fucking having sex and fucking and all this sort of stuff. Eventually I managed to grab the phone, hang up, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, we were fucking recording. And she's like, oh, really? Shit. And that episode exists and is out there in the real world, and it's still part of their
somewhere,
their podcast.
I don't think I've ever had the guts to listen to it.
I have listened to it.
Have you?
We are not good. We name people. We talk.
I remember having a ridiculous conversation and I wouldn't let it go. I was fixated on the fact that Americans have bidets in bathrooms and it's very rare, I think, probably to find as many bidets in UK households. Right?
Americans don't really have bidets. It's
it was
Europeans.
Whatever it was, they had a fancy toilet. It was very, very fancy. I was fixated on this. I was like, but in the UK, we don't have anything like that.
And then somebody kept using someone's real name throughout the course of the thing. It was just, So in a very long answer to your question, yes, there is plenty of stuff that we have recorded and binned. There's plenty of stuff that we've put out that we probably shouldn't have done. And especially with the early episodes. And I think with the podcast, I don't ever want it to be a humble brag about who we fucked that weekend. And I think the earlier episodes are very much just telling the stories about how we fucked things up. And there's a middle period where the impressions get dialed up because my ego's being fed and I'm, it's easy. It happens. People are like, oh, I love the impressions. You're like, really? I'll do 30 more of those an episode. And we were a bit like, oh, this is what we did and this is who we did. And I regret putting some of those out there. Nowadays, I'm much more concerned about only telling a story if it has some relevance to something, if there's a learning from it, talking to other people about their experiences and discussing topics rather than it just being oh yeah, we went to this person's house at the weekend and we fucked them and it was great. Because it just there's no value to that. And unless you're just really concerned about what's going on in our lives and what we're up to, which granted some people are, very few, but some people want that, it doesn't mean anything to anyone, really. So I'd much rather it be have some value, and that's why so many of them just get destroyed, burned, deleted, or given to our lovely patrons.
And I can guarantee that no one's tuning in to hear me retell a story in a sexy way, because that's never going to happen.
That does happen. That was very popular, but I just have to give you the words that you need to say. So yeah, that was it. So hopefully that answered that in a very long roundabout way, rambling.
And you just answered a few other questions as well along the way quite nicely.
Yeah. Have you ever had sex on a podcast? Have you ever been drunk on a podcast? Yes, and probably both at the same time.
There are no American podcasts that much for a train wreck that have involved me.
That we know of, probably, right?
There's only one interview, and that was not a train wreck on an American podcast.
There we go.
I was nervous as hell. And I'm nervous at the moment as well, still, a little bit. But
hopefully,
yeah,
I mean, you've been here, you've been engaging, and hopefully people have learned plenty of cool stuff. So I wouldn't sell yourself short. What I do want to know is, so let's wrap this up. Where can people find you in the world? I mean, we don't need your address and your postcode
don't give
or
us a
anything.
postcode.
No. But like, are you on Swing Hub, Fab? What?
They can find me on Fab.
Oh, yeah?
Gavlar 7799.
Gavlar.
GAVL.
Yeah.
Nice.
They can actually find me on FET as well.
Okay.
Swing Hub. Yeah, don't look at that profile. It's still under construction, and I'm making an absolute dragging the ball and chain and not really making much progress with that one. So watch this space on that one.
To be fair, you've got an opportunity now to rush out and immediately work on it and get it ready for your legion of fans that will have.
I'm open to suggestions and advice, most people, in how to actually sort out Swing Hub and get my head around it.
I think the best thing to do is just jump on there and have a good old play around and have a good old nose and see what you can find out. And that's the only way I've been able to figure it out. But profile advice, always happy to offer that. Maybe we need to pick that up in a new episode again soon, because it's been a while since we've talked about profiles. But
I think, yes, maybe some advice for single guys writing their profiles.
Yeah, that much we can do. It seems very oddly specific, Gav, but yeah, I'm sure we can.
No, really. Everyone talks about couples actually selling themselves, and it's two people sort of batting against each other. But it's the genuine guys trying to actually make an impression, but not be idiots about it.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge because it's just yourself. But I think you have to. For me, it's about showing a level of your personality within your pictures. I think, and whatever you've written, and bringing that to life in a fun way. I think, That would be my initial piece.
I've taken advice from yourselves in the sense of no pickle pictures on your main profile.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And if it is, it's your full body.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
It does.
Rather than just lots and lots of pickle pictures close up.
I think
That doesn't sell you.
the world needs a new measurement standard as well. So, like, since all the like Sky remotes are no longer really a thing.
Actually, I've seen a Sky remote being used to demonstrate the length of a dildo.
Oh, there we go. So, there needs to be one standard dildo that everyone uses in all their pictures. Maybe it's just like one, and everyone takes their picture and then hands it to the next person.
Or you could just not take a picture of your willy and
okay.
put it next to something for measurement.
All right, I'm going to take a picture of mine next to my iPhone and tell everyone it's an iPad.
Oh my God.
Right. On that note, mate, I want to say a huge thank you both for your support and help in the community and for coming along today and putting up with our nonsense questions. It's been an absolute pleasure. Miss H, do you want to say anything?
I do. Well, I'm going to say looking forward to catching up with you at our social event.
Yes, very soon.
Because you are indeed attending, aren't you?
I am indeed.
There you go.
And I'm very much looking forward to it,
Good.
but also a little worried about it, but I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Honestly, you're so experienced now. You can't keep having this.
He can feel however he wants. You can't tell him what he can feel.
I frequently do tell him.
No.
do.
You'll have a blast. I promise you, mate.
You will.
It'll be great.
We know you will.
Thanks ever so much for coming along. Any final words for listeners?
Keep listening.
Lovely. Mrs. H, do your
Wise
thing.
words. Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.